That rump. Hello, friends. Hi, Cloak. I'm trying to get a bit better at dressage here. Oh yeah, no, you're not alone. I'm having so much fun with the dressage. It's, quite a bit of muscle memory I feel like I gotta build up, though. I'm getting a little better, but I'm still struggling with doing some of the combinations. Some of the moves that require you to have the, max bar, throw me sometimes because I forget to check and make sure it's actually full. Yeah, every once in a while I notice some of them feel like a little bit sticky, but I'm not sure if that's a me thing, so... I do know that, it took me a bit to realize that when they say that some of the movements require the bar to be full, they mean absolutely full. Like, even just a little hair missing is, no bueno. And it was throwing me for a bit, because I thought I was hitting the keys right, which I was. I just didn't have enough, didn't have enough of the bar. I do kind of like, definitely makes it harder, but I like that you're punished for mistiming the cue too, so you can't just spam it. I notice it takes quite a chunk away if you screw the timing up on something. I assume the other horse is very similar in that regard. I haven't really done much with Toddy though. Yeah, pretty much. I know actually, I'm having a bit of an easier time with the dressage than I am with the jumping, because I think I played the demo for so long, and it was a little different there, and the muscle memory for that is still very strong. So I'm having a bit of a time adjusting. But I was able to do like a full course with realistic today, so it's getting better. I just gotta retrain my brain. Eventually it'll be really smooth. But, you know... Well, you know how it is, you're doing the same thing. Yeah, definitely. The leg just doesn't strike quite the same, so... I find myself usually trying to jump a little earlier than I should. How are you liking the early access overall so far? Yeah, that's what I did today too. I hate that feature. I don't understand that feature at all. I'm not sure what it, like, who it's for, you know what I mean? I kind of understand, like, if it was a multiplayer game, you know, having dailies and stuff, but it being single player, it seems like a weird decision to me. I actually like how sandboxy the demo is, so... Oops. Sorry, Blaze. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for RP purposes, it's like the idea is cool. I just wish it was tied to in-game mechanic, you know, like how you can sleep in Skyrim, you know what I mean? Like we can just go to bed and wake up and it's a different day with different options. I wouldn't mind something like that. But having to wait real 24 hours or change my clock that's just not for me. But yeah, it makes sense, like with the classes, that would make sense. So different days, you have different things to do, but... in a single player game, again, yeah, it just feels weird. I like how fast lead changes build the collection meter. That's actually nice. I noticed that a lot of the special moves continue to build it, which is really useful. I think this would be really rough if they didn't. It would be very difficult to change moves, or chain moves together, as it were. Yeah, I think it would actually be impossible. You'd have to do some really serious gymnastics with your hands. Ah, balls. Almost. Yeah, I let it drop a little there. I think it's the P-off and the leg yield at the canner seem to be the real picky ones. I think they're the only ones that are, like, require it to be maxed. Whoops. There we go, jeez. Mucked that up a few times in a row. I do like that you don't have to do every stride also, like you can do every other stride and it works just fine. Oh, Buzz, you could actually, you can change the date on your computer, just by going into the settings there, and you'll unlock different options. It's not great to have to do that, but it is a workaround until the feature gets changed. I really hope she changes that. I made a cross-country video today with Blaze, and I had to try, like, I think 4 different dates before I found one with cross-country with Blaze, and it was very annoying. Yeah, if you change it in your settings, you can always revert back to automatic. I just keep looking at the date now and going, wow, it's the, whatever, 16th today. No, it's not. Yeah, it's... I'm just glad that there is a workaround, because... I checked a few days ahead, and like, I wanted to make that cross-country video, right? And I would have had to wait, what, 3 real days before I could do it? That's not fun. It would be less of a big deal if there were more horses and more options, but because we're so limited already, it just... Oh, that happened to me too, Buzz. I got the same ones for, today and tomorrow. Kinda wish we had a proper dressage arena. The square... Yes, it's not really a square. But I would like to have letters and stuff to play with. I guess I could put some of those cone things down, but I don't know. Yeah, getting better. Did the extended to Piaf to extended to Piaf twice in a row there. Down the middle anyway. Slowly but surely. There are cones? Like, do you have to do a custom thing, or are they actually, like, cones? Oh! Can make courses with the cone. Oh, you can make courses with them. They don't have, like, preset ones. I'm a little lazy, like, Is there actually, since y'all have played with the feature, is there a grid now? Or is it like the demo where I have to sell my soul to make a straight line? Snaps better? Oh no. Okay, well at least there's a little bit of snapping. I know, I would have killed for grid lines in the demo. Sometimes my subtle cues are a little bit too long. I can't wait till we have dressage courses to actually ride. I think that'll be a freaking blast. Probably really hard, but fun. Dressage really is, I really like the direction she went with it. As much as I have nostalgia for the rhythm games of the old, you know, where you had to... I'm sure you guys remember the old horse games where you just had to hit arrows. Like the horse would ride the course and you just had to tap arrows, or buttons or whatever, at the right time. But this is so much more engaging. Probably gonna be a hot minute before I'm super comfortable with all these. I would like to get to where I don't have to think about it too hard. I'm kind of curious which ones you guys, what dressage movements y'all have the most trouble with. The leg yield at the canter. Doing the leg yield into a lead swap into another leg yield in the opposite direction has been the hardest thing for me so far. Yeah, the leg yield, doing a straight leg yield, and I notice like say I do 3 taps outward, right? So like 3 steps out. If I then go and do 3 steps back, it's not always the same angle. Like the angle seems kind of off. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not crazy. You've noticed that too. It was kind of throwing me. It seems to be more prominent at the canter, especially. I notice that sometimes in the canter I get way more of like an angle, right? And sometimes it doesn't feel like it has much of one. And at first I thought, oh, that's like, it's a timing thing? And maybe it is, but like how precise does that need to be? I don't know. I'd lean more towards it's just a little goofy, or a little finicky right now. I don't run into the problem at the trot, really. It's only the canter. Like, I was able to go out on 3, but then it took me like 4 to get back, so... I don't know. I think it would be easier in first person, but the first... Like, I like first person. I actually prefer to play the demo in first, but... This first person... I don't know, something about it makes me feel a little queasy, and I don't normally have that problem in games. So, like, I want to play it in first person. I find it a lot easier to go in a straight line in first person than I do in third. Same, that goes for the jumping courses too. I guess the speed you're going at affects the leg yield as well. The jumping cord, do you mean the cross country? There aren't, unfortunately there aren't like stadium jumps you can do right now, but you can go to the cross country. You might have to change, if you don't have that option, you'll have to go into your Windows settings and change the date. It's based on the date, unfortunately. Yeah, the motion blur kills me. I remember back when she first showed kind of this version of the game, right, on the Patreon, and she showed some clips of first person, and I saw that motion blur, and I basically begged for an option to disable it, because the motion blur makes... I hate motion blur in games. I always turn it off. So I'm kind of sad that it made it in without an option to disable it. I really don't like it at all. And yeah, the pixelation is weird. I don't, it looks a lot muddier than the demo did. I'm actually, I was a pretty big fan of the graphics in the demo. It was... that watercolory look was fine. It was muted enough. But this outline and then the pixelation is just... it's a little much for me. It's kind of loud. It's just visually kind of loud. Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's very slight, and it does, of course, have that kind of fisheye thing going on, but it never really bothered me in the demo, but maybe I just got used to it. But here, it's so much. Like, what happens in first person is what's on the horse's tail right now, where it's just very, very pixelated. It's like looking at everything through a, like a porch screen, you know, or like a pool cage. It is sort of funny that once you're in the Piaffe, you can hold it forever. I'm wondering if in the future there will be like, certain horses will have different levels of impulsion or power. So, you know, some horses can do the Piaffe slower, some can hold it for longer. I figure this is, I don't know if she's gonna go for like full Grand Prix. I know eventing horses usually don't have the conformation to really sit, like completely sit in a Piaffe. Usually they creep forward a little bit. Oh yeah, Reno, I do it all the time too. Sometimes I accidentally cue the cannon. I find the extension a lot easier because you can just hold W forever and nothing bad happens, but if you keep holding S, something gonna happen. And like Blaze stops so fast that there isn't really a big window to pick up the Piaffe. You can make like one mistake and that's it. I gotta try the dressage with Tatiana. Probably be bad now after doing so much with Blaze, just her timing's gonna be different. Probably gonna throw me pretty bad. I find it's a lot easier to do every other step though. Like I only, when I initiate the Piaffe, I'll catch whatever can't say words, whatever leg I think I can get. But once I'm in it, I find it a lot easier to hit every other step. The Piaf, you have to be at pretty much max collection. So you see that little green horse? That shows the level of collection you have. At any given moment, you want that max green. If it's gray, it means the more gray, the less collected you are. So you want it to be completely max green. And then what you need to do is you need to hold down S. And you need to tap with your legs, so the mouse buttons, as the back legs land. It's a little tricky to get the feel of. There is a handbook. Someone, Maisie, was kind enough in my last stream, pointed the handbook out to me. I didn't realize it actually had, like, gameplay information in it. If you hit escape, so, like, I'll show really quick. If you hit escape, there's a book called Road to Grand Prix, and it explains how to do every single movement. It tells you where to cue each thing and each gate. So it's actually very informative. I'm glad it exists. Trying to figure this out on my own would have been interesting. Okay, thank you, Buzz. Yeah, I just call it all it's just a habit. I just consider collection to be the horse holding itself in a form ready to, basically prepared to do anything. So it's more of like a, for me it's a, what do you call it? Semantics. But thank you. That is probably the more correct term. Oh no, thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't always call things by the correct terminology, so no, I appreciate it. Usually I don't have to throw the words around for a horse game, so it's probably best I use the correct terms. Otherwise I'll confuse people. Oh, thank you, Reno. I assure you, I'm using like 110% of my brain right now. And yeah, I really do like the controls. It's there's a lot of crossover. The idea crosses over really well. I mean, definitely harder to do these things in real life, but it's actually kind of a good it's kind of a good teacher, right? Because the mechanics are there. the understanding is there. Like, I've heard that the demo helped a lot of people think about striding and why it's important, why it matters. It makes sense. It's really cool to have a game actually embrace that. Yeah, for lead changes, you just use you double tap with the outside or the inside to swap, right? So you tap the opposite side of the lead you want to push them into the correct lead. So if you want to switch from the left lead to the right lead, you tap with your left leg. I'm gonna have to get a lot better at articulating myself. Yeah, that is really nice. When I played the demo, I used an application called NoBoard, which shows your key inputs. But being able to see a more detailed version here is really nice. Especially since we have different levels of cues, so like the light versus the steady versus the special. It makes it a lot clearer what's going on. No, wrong way, Blaze. Goodness me. We had a little disagreement there on what direction we should go in. That's funny. That's how you end up crashing into a tree, which I have definitely done in real life. No, I feel that. I can't ride anymore either. It makes me miss it a lot, but it's so nice to have something kind of, at least sort of, that reminds me of it. There's a lot of horse games I play, and I really do like them, but this is the one that's been the closest to actual riding mechanics. Oh, Buzz, by the way, if you're still here, if I use any other wrong terminology, please do let me know. It's been so long since because I never rode, when I rode, I never did, like, high-end dressage at all. I worked with my pony and we could do, you know, the straight line lead swaps. We could do a very, flimsy, like, beginning of a piaffe, that sort of thing, but nothing... I never did anything high-end. It was mostly exercises for fun. I didn't compete or anything. Oh man, that sounds fun. Yeah, I've sometimes it doesn't take much. Was it in a warm-up ring by chance? Those places are chaotic. Yeah, same. I went to a few shows when I was younger. I did like small fry eventing, but I never did anything insane. Or like super high level, or high level. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. Amazing how easy it can be to get into a bad accident when there's other people around. Never know what other people are going to be doing. I need to do more leg yields at the walk. The timing is actually happens a little later than I'd think, and I keep missing it. Yeah, that's why warm-up rings can be so interesting. Sometimes people aren't always paying attention, and those things are crowded as heck. Doesn't take much for chaos to erupt. I was at a show once where they had jumps in the warm-up ring, and, you know, usually they set it so that you can only do the jumps in one direction, and it's for everyone's safety. And somebody did not adhere to that rule, and two people almost collided with each other going over a jump. That was fun. Almost 24/7 Lolo, yeah, I used to be like that. If I had free time, or I could be, I was on the pony. Yeah, the leg yielding, I'm not sure if it's me or if it's like with Cloak, where I'm having a hard time going evenly across. I'm gonna try in first person, see if it's a straightness issue on my end. I'll go straight along the fence here. No, it seems definitely like sometimes a little squidgier to one side than another. Yeah, it just feels kind of off. Not quite perfect. Everything else feels really, really tight. That was no bueno. Let's try that again. No bueno. Yeah, this... I don't care for this horse model as much as the old one. I know, there had to be quite a few changes made for the hitbox, like, I get why she had to swap some things, and why some of the movements look a little funky. But I do hope they get refined a bit more. Because one of the downsides of the demo is the horses could not jump up or downhill, because the hitbox was just very much like a person. It was just very flat. There was no, you know, rear and front. So really, really strange things happened if you tried to jump up a hill. Some really, really weird stuff happens when you leg yolt. Like, look at the... just a regular trot. The legs, need to call a chiropractor or something. Yeah, the character model looks way better. I kind of miss... I think I just got attached to the old model, the weird twitchy eyes that she had. She looked crazy. Like she was, taking something. Yeah. Yeah, some of the animations are definitely a little funky, but... I'm willing to trade aesthetics for the mechanics of this game any day. Like, there's so many horse games out there that look good, but they just... There's not a lot of game, I guess. There's not a lot of gamey horse games. If that makes sense at all. Yeah, I can't wait for more features to be added either. I'm really glad, though, that it did come out for free. Don't know if it'll stay that way, but now more people can try it. Yeah, I play SSO. Aside from this one, Ranch of Rivershine, SSO, and Horse Isle 3 are the ones I play the most. Though I haven't played Rivershine in a while. I'm waiting for the new competitions to come out there. I think a lot of my trouble with the P-off is I don't always check to make sure that my roundness is maxed. Thank you again, Buzz. And I end up doing I'm hitting the keys correctly, but I don't have the roundness for it, so it ends up not happening. I know it's not really entirely possible because of the range, but I sort of wish that it was a little more obvious when your roundness was maxed on the horse, because I feel like I'm having to pay a little too much attention to the icon. I can't really see it in the model. I don't know if that's just me, but like if I let it drop off a bit here, like it's very difficult to tell that it's dropping off until it gets really, really low. And by then it's too low to do anything about it, or like to actually do the exercise. Oh, thank you, Lola. I appreciate it. This is pretty much the only game I post about. There aren't a whole lot of other horse games that I feel like someone already hasn't posted content for, you know what I mean? But yeah, I do wish it was a little more obvious on the horse, because one of the things I liked about the demo is that all of the visual information you needed was on the horse. You didn't need the UI once you got used to it, or, you know, used to how everything worked. Yeah, the drain is pretty quick. I'm wondering if, you think it's maybe the horses we have now, like, the one's a lesson horse, and this is a retired mare, so maybe they're just not as on it as some of the others. Like, maybe we're gonna get access to a more sensitive horse that stays on it a little better, or fills a little faster. But yeah, it does feel like it drains really, really fast. Especially fast. Like, I wouldn't mind having a horse, where it drained a lot slower, but if you make a mistake, it's more punishing. So, like, the horse gets frustrated with you, right? I know my pony used to get really, really frustrated with me when I did things wrong. But he was also very businesslike, and he was very on it, so as long as I was doing well, he would do well, sort of thing. And I wouldn't mind a horse like that. I love horses like that. But I don't know if that's just a personal bias because of my pony, so... Nope. Lost it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna miss the demo a bit. Nostalgia, you know? Oh no. What happened? Did she just give a cue your horse didn't like, or did she lose her around one of the barrels? I mucked it up. Me too, Cloak. I have a... I kept every version of the demo. They're all on my backup drive, just in case I ever want to hit them up. Especially that first release of version 8, where there was a bug where you could build jumps anywhere. Definitely keeping that one. Oh, balls, I thought I had that. Nope. I do really miss the animations from the demo. Bye Lola, thanks for stopping by and hanging out. I wonder if anyone, like, if the leg yield is just funky, or if anyone's figured out a trick to make it a little more consistent. Some funky things happen from this angle at the leg yield. Oh, hold on. Oh. I don't think the front leg's supposed to move that way. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't even like you have to mix the taps in and it feels very strange, yeah. I don't know. Probably just something that needs to be worked on a bit. Yeah, like there, it's like so much looser. It's strange. Whoops. Nope. Yeah, I got a much sharper turn that time, or a much sharper angle on the yield that time, and I'm not sure why. What do you mean, just like actually spamming the key? Wow, it does. Why? Very jittery. Oh man. Yeah, I think the leg yield needs a little help. Yeah, it does work. Curious how that looks in Canner. This poor horse. Like, please stop. Yeah, it actually, I seem to get a better yield when I don't spam in the canner, but in the trot, it creates a much more of an angle. It's very hard to do the 1 tempi changes when you're going faster than, like, in the 2 range. I think in the 3. I'd be curious if y'all can do the single or the 1 tempis going faster than 3. I can do every other stride, but not every stride. Apparently there's a glitch where you can leg yield through the fence and get outside, but I haven't really tried to do that yet. Backing through walls is no longer a thing. I was very sad. I'm gonna miss that. I don't know what arena the person did it in, but yeah, apparently you can leg yield through fences. The dressage lessons are gonna be spicy. I think I'm gonna go for, I want to go for extension to pee off to extension one more time, and then I'm probably gonna take a break because my brain is starting to barbecue. Gotta absorb this info. Yeah, gotta make myself stop. I've been going pretty ham. Veronica? Yeah, I do. I do like the jumping a lot. It's been a big adjustment for me coming off the demo because the timing in the demo is very different, and the realistic mode in this version is... It's harder than in the demo in that you have to be very precise, but like if you were playing the demo and you were doing the higher courses with Rose and Damon, like 175, you know, spreads with Damon and then 160 with Rose, then it's the same timing as that. It's just, it requires it now for every jump, even the tiny ones. You have to pretty much nail, like, right as the foot lands, otherwise, you get a refusal. There's no leeway. Not a lot of, give. Oh yeah, something other than this to focus on. Yeah, I could see where this would be pretty easy to burn on. There's, not a ton to do yet. Especially without the custom courses. But I'm probably gonna do, like... I'd like to do a video on just getting started with dressage, if someone already hasn't. And then a few more videos on the cross-country, until we get some updates. Yeah. Yeah, the bush jumps are... Ugh, man. You gotta line up for those in advance and just squeeze and hope that your rain aids are enough to turn if you need to. They're a little tough. They make the box jumps look really derpy. It's the fact that the horse tries to avoid them, and man, do they ever try to avoid them. I had one occasion where I was going into... I was trying... On the cross-country course, there's a bush jump right directly next to a roll top type jump. And I was aiming for the roll top, but I guess Blaze didn't know that. And so Blaze just decided to crash in between the two of them. Yeah, you really have to get it dead on. And I know in the demo I used to take really, really aggressive turns into jumps, and it just does not work on the brush jumps now. You gotta be really prepared, like, especially on that combo. You can't come in at really at much of an angle at all, because sometimes the rain aids aren't enough to turn once you're in. Yeah, it feels like a little much. I like me a challenge, but man, those brush jumps. Alright, that was a pretty good pee-off to extended, or extended pee-off extended, so probably a good place for me to call it tonight, and I'll work on getting a dressage video out. Yeah, you can jump them on an angle, it's just, it's kind of hard to line it up. Like, if you want to turn afterwards, especially to combo them. But yeah, you definitely can, you're right. Yeah. For sure. Alright, I think this is where I'm gonna call it. Thanks for hanging out, guys. It was fun to chat and stuff while I did this. Probably go back and do a little more jumping. Of course, Snugflex. Of course. Oh yeah, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. It's really nice to chat. You know, I get to hang out with other horsey people and play horsey games. Makes me really happy. Alright guys, I hope you have a good night, morning, evening, you know, whatever it is where you are. And I will see you later. Toodles.